Hi everyone, my name is Cecilia. I'm from Universidad de la República in Uruguay, and I will present the paper A Taste of the Software Industry Perception of Technical Debt and Mismanagement in Uruguay. This paper was written in collaboration with Martín Solari from Universidad Hort, Uruguay, Diego Vallespir from Universidad de la República in Uruguay, and Guilherme Travassos from Universidade Federal do Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. This investigation was conducted within the framework of the Uruguayan Software Engineering Program to collaborate with Uruguayan software industry through evidence-based software engineering research. So I'd like to start talking about the background of this study. So what is technical debt? Technical debt is a relatively new concept that was coined for the first time by Ward Cunningham. He wanted to communicate to the non-technical stakeholders which are the consequences of delivering poor quality software in order to accelerate the software process, for example, to meet a deadline or a certain schedule. From that first definition, many other definitions have emerged over the years from the scientific and industrial communities. However, there is no common consensus, neither by industry nor by academia, on what is and what is not technical debt nowadays. Despite that, the scientific community has made an excellent work characterizing technical debt in several perspectives. For example, regarding its occurrence, intentional or not intentional, their influence in the software projects, the software artifact where it can be perceived, and the phase or activity of the software lifecycle where it can emerge or manage. Regarding the industry perspective, several investigations have also been done in the past few years. The most used methods to explore this perspective were case studies, interviews, and surveys. The aims of these studies was to explore what software professionals understand by technical debt and how their companies manage technical debt in their projects. Regarding this perspective, the industry perspective, until 2017, no studies had explored this about technical debt in Brazil. So the experimental software engineering group decided to conduct a survey asking to the software professionals if they were familiar with technical debt, and if so, what they understand by it, if their companies manage technical debt, and if so, which methods, practices, and tools they use to support it. With the same goal, in 2019, we decided to replicate this study with the Uruguayan software practitioners. So regarding the design of this study, there are two research questions related to it. If there exists a consensus in the perception of technical debt among the Uruguayan software practitioners, that means if they agree in what is and what is not technical debt. And the second one refers on how the practitioners perceive technical debt in their projects. If their companies manage technical debt, which management activities are most important for their projects, and which are the technologies that they use to support it. We conducted this study between February and April of 2019 through an online questionnaire. We disseminated it to the software practitioners through different ways. The principal way was the mailing list of the Uruguayan Software Engineering Program, which has more than 500 members. Also through the newsletter of the Uruguayan IT Chamber, which concentrates most of the IT software companies, and through the Uruguay IT technical community, personal contacts, and obviously social medias. Regarding the result of the survey, we got a very high response rate. If we consider that the population of Uruguay is 3.5 million. A total of 397 participants answered the survey, of which 259 give us a complete and valid answers. To these participants, we asked if they knew what the technical debt term means. To this question, 150 participants answered yes. These responses represent only 60% of the total of valid answers. To the participants who declare to be aware to the technical debt concept, we show them a list of software issues and we ask them to select which items they think that can be related to technical debt. On the right, we can see the percentage of participants who select a particular item. We want to highlight that Code smells, which is highly related to technical debt by technical literature, was selected by less than a half of the software practitioners. And a low external quality, which is generally not related to technical debt and is not aligned with any technical debt definition, was selected by almost the same number of participants. As a general result, and answering the research question, we did not observe consensus among participants about what is related to technical debt. In fact, no item was selected by the total of participants that claimed to be aware of the technical debt concept. So from the 150 people who declared to be aware, 126 declared that they perceive technical debt in their projects. Of those, only 83 declared to manage technical debt. These 83 participants represent 66% of those who declare to perceive the technical debt in their projects, and they represent only 32% of the total of valid answers. Regarding the adoption of technical debt management activities, the most adopted activity are the technical debt identification, followed by payment and prioritization. The least adopted activity are technical debt measurement, followed by monitoring and documentation. In some responses, the participants declare to perform the technical debt payment, for example, but not perform the technical debt identification, or perform technical debt prioritization without documentation. We think that maybe the participants answer about the formal or systematic adoption of the activities. So maybe they identify technical debt, who knows how, and then pay it as a part of their formal assignment. Regarding the importance given by the participants to each activity, which is shown in green bars on the right side, the most important activity ranked by the participants was technical debt identification, which coincides with the most adopted activity, followed by prevention and measurement. And here we can see that the technical debt measurement and monitoring, which are the least adopted activities, are not necessarily considered as least important activities. In fact, technical debt measurement was ranked as one of the 3 most important activities. Particularly for technical debt measurement, 38% of the participants declared to perform this activity ad hoc. The most used tools are SonarCube and SpotBags. Well, comparing our results with the original study and with other related studies, we selected for this presentation a recent published work, the InsightTD project, which is a family of industry surveys about technical debt. In the timeline, we can see the period in which each study was conducted. And regarding the awareness of technical debt concept, all 3 studies have similar results. Around 60% of the respondents declare to know what technical debt is. Regarding the perception of technical debt in their projects, we cannot compare our results with the InsightTD because they don't have any question regarding the perception. And if we compare our results with the original study, we can observe a higher level of perception in Uruguay, around the 20%. And regarding technical debt management, we can see that the replication in Uruguay show higher level of management than the original study, and both show a bigger difference than the InsightTD, almost double. But if we consider the percentage of management over the total of valid answers, we have 32% of adoption, which is similar to InsightTD. Well, regarding the limitations and threat to validities to our study, we believe that our major threat is that although the technical debt term is a relatively new concept, it is likely that the participants were familiar with other terms related to technical debt. For example, low internal quality, design erosion, among others. So it's probable that they perceive technical debt in their project and maybe manage this debt, but with another name. Well, regarding the conclusions of this study, we think that the most important contributions to the industry are that there are indications that technical debt concept is still unknown by a large part of the industry, so maybe further dissemination of the TD concept is needed. And there is also indications that the adoption of technical debt is still low, and a large part of it is performed ad hoc. Also, a low systematization of technical debt management activities reduce the capability of perceiving and managing technical debt in an opportunity manner. For the researchers, the scientific community needs to provide more precise guidelines and instructions about how the technical debt management activities can be adopted in a better way. Also, we need further evaluation of the available technologies and tools that have been proposed in order to improve the adoption and support the performance of technical debt management activities. Well, the results of this survey were disseminated through different ways: an evidence briefing, a meeting, a talk in a software event, and a short video. Well, what's next? What are the next steps of this investigation? Well, there are questions that we want to answer. The first one is, why is technical debt management not adopted in a more systematic way in Uruguay? That is in order to get some insights about how to improve this adoption. And the second one is, what are the challenges and needs related to technical debt that the software industry are facing now? So to answer this question, we are planning several focus groups with the software practitioners. Well, that is all. So thanks for watching and have a nice